Hi America,
And I'm Sarah, and we're from Left to Right. Today we are doing the Unpopular Opinions book tag, which we are very excited to start. Fair warning now, if you have easily hurt feelings, do not watch this video because we are going all in. And let's begin. I first want to start with The 1000th Floor. I'm sorry guys, but this was not good. The plot for this was wasted. The scenery sounded so cool. Manhattan formed into one building, but it was just a futuristic version of Gossip Girl. And it was just keeping up with who was sleeping with who, what drug are you on now. It was not good. The characters were one-faced and boring. I don't know how this could be in a 3-book series. I'm sorry, but it was a waste of time.
and for me, I have 2 books for this one. The first one is My Lady Jane. I was looking forward to that because the premise seemed so cool, kind of adding magical elements to Old English culture, and I was just disappointed. It wasn't as cool as I thought it was going to be. The magic wasn't as far-fetched as I thought it was going to be, and I was just disappointed. And I was also disappointed with this book, Everything, Everything. It was very lackluster. I'm just not a big fan of contemporary, and this just didn't hit the mark for me.
Yeah, I agree with that one too. This next one we both agree on, and it is the Passenger series. Guys, I don't understand why some people give it hard reviews. I think it's beautifully written. It takes you through time, adding elements of the present day, and it has love stories, it has action. I don't know, it's everything that I want in a book right here. That definitely needs more hype. Yeah, read it. You want to say something?
I agree. I completely concur with Sarah. It's definitely worth your reading time more than some of the other books we mentioned.
Yeah. Warning, this has spoilers for both of our books, so one of us is going to leave the room when we do our actual review. Mine was the 3 Dark Crown, 1 Dark Throne
See ya.
series.
I'm out of here. Bye.
I'm going to give major spoilers, so please turn off your volumes or skip ahead if you don't want to hear it. We all know, if you read the book, in 3 Dark Crowns, Peter, Catherine's boyfriend or trainer, whatever you prefer, threw her down the Brecca domain. And in this book, they still ended up together, which I think is totally off limits. Catherine is this totally badass girl who does not deserve Nicholas or Peter, who I think should be a standalone lady, even though she does need a suitor. I'm not so happy that she gave herself up to Peter after Nicholas died. Also, another one is Jules and Joseph. In the first book, they were so cute together. I was totally for them until he went and had a thing with Mirabella. That really threw me off the edge. I was not happy with that one. And then not even once, but twice with Mirabella. So she ended up forgiving him and they ended up living happily ever after together, unless you read what happened in the end. But I was not happy. Joseph, no matter how many sweet things he said to Jewel in this book, I was not thrilled with it.
And my book for this one has to do with The Crowns Game by Evelyn Skye. Spoiler alert, so
I'm gonna leave because I want to read this book, so yeah. Peace.
It's not the worst spoiler because I'm pretty sure if you have ever read any type of YA book, you know that the 2 main characters, if one's one gender and the other's the other gender, they usually get together, which is what happened in this book. Vika and Nikolai, they both got together, and I just didn't think it was necessary. I didn't think there needed to be some kind of romantic aspect. I just didn't like them as pairing together, and it just wasn't worth it. It didn't do anything to the plot for them, frankly. They could have had the same connection as being a really good friendship, and I think that would have provided even more for the plot rather than it being romantic.
For this one, for me, is nonfiction. I don't really enjoy it. The closest thing I get to it is historical fiction, but I still like the twist on the characters where it's not really real. It's just the scenery that is. I don't know. I like living in the fake world to escape the real world, so I'd rather not read about it, so.
And for me, I know it's not really a genre, but anything that has to do with vampires, I'll pass on.
Oh, yeah.
And I just, not a big fan. I don't like I like fantasy and I like mystical creatures and everything. It's just vampires, they just don't do it for me. I don't know why.
If someone were to tell me what I'm about to say a couple months ago, I would really be upset. But now that I've grown and read other books, I'm going to go with Mare Barrow from the Red Queen series. There is no character arc with her. She has set from the first page a badass character that something's gonna go wrong and she's gonna try to fix it and she's gonna screw everybody's lives over. I'm sorry, but I want some character development. There's not one part where she's like shown weak, and even if she is, she has a strong mindset to kill and to do all these things, and there's just nothing good about her character. And I get that YA plots are usually all the same and all the characters are like this, but they have character development. They show their weaknesses. Mare has no weakness. Just Silent Zone, where she can't use her powers to kill people. There's nothing weak about her.
Completely agree with Sarah on this one. I've been trying to tell her this, but she is still kind of in that Red Queen like hangover where she didn't really want to accept it, but she did eventually, and I'm very proud of her.
Broke the hangover.
And for my book, I have allegedly the main character in this book, Mary B. Addison. I feel like a lot of people like her, a lot of people might connect with her, but there's just something so screwed up about her character. She's an unreliable narrator, first of all, which threw me off at first, especially when I read the ending of the book. I realized that I just didn't really like her character at all. I know she's been through a lot. I know her life is definitely not fair, but she might deserve it. I don't want to say that because I know I'm going to offend so many people. And I know people are going to say, oh, it's because she's African American. Oh, it's because she's been thrown in jail. It's not that. It's just you gotta pay for what you've done, essentially.
Okay, this one might hurt some feelings too, but John Green. I don't know, something about his books I just never liked, and maybe it's his writing style, because I get his stories are off and there's a lot of, I'm guessing, like metaphors and stuff that maybe people don't understand, but they like to connect. I just couldn't connect. I read Paper Towns, I started Fault in Our Stars, couldn't get into it. I started Looking for Alaska, couldn't get into it. Maybe his new book I'll try again, and I could refilm another video saying, doing an apology to John Green, but for now, not so into him.
And for me, it's Maggie Stiefvater. I know a lot of people like her stuff. Like, I think it's the Scorpio race is the ones about the bloodthirsty horses and the festival. And I know the Raven Boys, that's a huge thing for a lot of people. I just never really had an urge to read her stuff. Never really had an urge to explore more into whatever she writes. It's just uninteresting to me. I feel like there's a lot of other people I'd rather be reading books from.
I might be a bit hypocritical, but because all I read is YA, but I don't know, every story seems to do the same thing. You start with a girl or a boy who there's something different about them and they have to save the world, and there's going to be some cute boy or girl that trains with them and they fall in love. I would love to read a story where it's about the villain side of it or the sidekick of it, or maybe they start off weak and then they go strong, but it's this really like crying girl or boy who's just whiny. I just want something different every now and then. Those are the kinds of books that really stand out if it's a different plot or a different, like, I don't know.
And for me, it might be along those lines, but any kind of, and I just read Legend, the Legend series by Mary Lou, so I might be kind of, I don't know, I might have had just a bit too much of that. Especially because I read the entire trilogy in 2 days. But I'm kind of sick of a plague-stricken society with a corrupt government. It's just kind of annoying and repetitive, and I feel like we've gotten that point of view from so many different authors, from so many different characters, and I'm kind of sick of it. The Hunger Games, very similar. The Divergent series, very similar. Mm-hmm. They all have a little twist. The plague might not be something physical, it might be something more mental, but it's all very similar. Maybe it's just dystopian books as a genre is just kind of boring me a little, but I need something a bit different.
This is really bouncing off what Erica said too, but I'm not into vampires, so goodbye Twilight. Believe me, I love a cheesy romance. I'm obsessed with the Selection series, which a lot of people don't like. I just like the romance of it. Vampires is not my thing. As soon as you see the word vampires or werewolf, you think of the cheesy love story of Twilight. I can't have you because I'm gonna eat you. Don't get me wrong, I love fantasy, but this one's a little too much. I'm never gonna get into this.
For me, it's The Mortal Instruments. I know a lot of people love it. It's beloved to so many people, but I don't know if I'd ever really like the whole angel demon thing, if that's even really what the book focuses on. If a lot of you guys recommend it to me, maybe I'll read it. I'll try reading the first one. If I like it, then I'll totally continue it and I'll totally repeal whatever I'm saying now, but I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea right now.
Okay, I never read any books that ended up being, have a movie or TV adaptation that was better. I applaud The Giver because that one was really close, but I will say, if the book One of Us is Lying ever became a TV show, it will definitely outshine the book. I think that one's such a great plot for a TV show because you need that visual aid of it. It was a pretty good book, but I think if it became a TV show, it will soar.
And for me, first of all, t-shirt reference, my shirt says the book was better, which it almost always is. But in this case, The 100 by Cass Morgan, I've read all 4 books. I own them all. I've watched all 4 seasons of the TV show. When the 5th one comes out, I'm definitely going to watch it. But the TV show, there's just so much more action. It's a lot more impactful. The characters have a lot more grief. And I think that's important in the character development of the characters. This was a lot fluffier than what the TV show is. And I just like the gore part of the TV show better than the books. Although, spoiler alert, just a tiny, tiny bit, Clark and Bellamy actually get together in the books and they haven't in the TV show. So if that never happens in the TV show, which I do want, I'm a Bellark fan forever, read the books. And I think that's what Sarah's gonna do.
Yep, if Bellark never happens, I'll read the books.
Yeah. Shippers for life.
Yeah. So that concludes today's video. Sorry, not sorry if we hurt your feelings. We did warn you in the beginning. If you want to keep up with what we're reading and some of our reviews that we didn't mention, all our social media will be linked down in the description below. Hit that subscribe button and happy reading. Bye.